Hello, Eve. How you doing?
Yeah, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. And thank you for today for showing up and ready to have our audience hear about you. And I just want to say that I'm so grateful and I'm so happy to be here today with you.
Mm.
And I would like to read a little bit about you that you told us about yourself. And I just want our audience to hear a little bit of your background and who you are, just
Yeah.
in a very short way, and then you can tell us more in depth. So Eve is a founder of Mental Move and provide mindset and wellness coach. She helps visionary and aspiring entrepreneurs manage anxiety and gain confidence to pursue their vision by helping their identity, they identify, sorry, to help by helping
Mm.
them identify their mental blocks and self-limiting beliefs to empower them to live life to their full potential. Eve also is the author of Anxiously Bold, which is guided journal for the anxiously bold visionary. Her background is in mental health, and she is also qualified social worker and personal trainer. Amazing. Wow.
Yes.
She uses her personal and professional experience using future focused, strength based approach to empower and inspire her clients. Her vision is to help people around the globe to make an impact. So, if we talk about you have a background with mental health. Would
Yeah.
love to ask is that how did that start in your journey?
I think for me, it started on a personal level where I struggled with mental health
Mm,
problems growing up and just not understanding it. And coming from Africa, the culture didn't really understand, or rather, didn't want to accept that there was anything like mental health problems. So I think coming to England, I think my mental health got worse, and I still didn't understand it. So it just when I really began to understand it is when I did my mental health in social work. So I went for placement, and a lot of things started to fall into place. Obviously, by that time I was already in my 30s. But then I discovered in that moment that although I wasn't going through them anymore, I started playing back a lot of things in my life, and I was like, that's what was going on. So from there, I really, had the passion for mental health. I just wanted to help people. I'm also a mental health advocate, so I get involved in quite a lot of mental health stuff to raise awareness, and especially in our African community, to be able to challenge the stigma that's associated with mental health. So that's where my passion came from.
wow, that's amazing. And did you yourself have you felt the need of educating maybe your own people or your own community more about the mental health because of what you went
Yeah,
through?
yeah, it's things that I get involved in quite a few things like in terms of I'll have in fact last week I was in another mental health talk, so I'll be involved in mental health talks. I'm also a mental health practitioner as well. And so it's just spreading the word. I spread the word like through my social media, and I think in the future, my dream is to be able to kind of raise that awareness even more. I come from Kenya, so I want to be able to go back home and actually make it, like raise that awareness that needs to be raised.
So, when was the last time you've been in Kenya?
It was when was it? October last year.
Okay, that's not bad. That's not like a long time ago. So you're more aware of, the way things are there at the moment and everything. Have you
Yeah.
looked into way that how you're going to start bring that awareness in Kenya? Have you thought about it?
Well, There's people who've already started in Kenya, and there's also people that I know here who are doing it, who are from the same country.
Mhm.
And so I've reached out to them, I've gotten involved in their campaigns, and it's something that, when the right time comes, those people are there, and I can just reach out to them so that we could work together.
Amazing. And also you said that you've also doing other things. You are qualified as a social worker, but also as a personal trainer. So is there like a link between those two, or was it something that you just wanted to try a different area?
No, for me, personal training came, obviously that's the way because I didn't, with my own mental health issues that I had at the time, I didn't really know about like medication, or I didn't kind of know, I didn't want to go down that route anyway through medication. So I kind of did my own research and how to kind of improve your mood. At that time, I didn't know what was going on. So I looked at, everyone was just saying exercise, exercise. So I said to myself, let me do some exercise and see how this thing goes. And I just fell in love with exercise, and just the way I didn't have to, like, the way I feel about myself, it's a different kind of natural feeling that I get when I'm exercising. And through that, I never had to go through the medication route. So I knew definitely that exercise was it for me. So when I'm feeling down, I'll go and exercise. So from there, my passion then grew to think, how else can I um educate myself in terms of like taking how I take care of my mental health. That so I went down the route of actually finding out to how do I exercise, how do I exercise properly, how do I, there's all these things that go into it. So I wanted to learn more. And so through that I went on to um doing the diploma for personal training. So, but then from there, it was like it now became a passion. So I've not really um, gotten into it fully, as in like with clients, but it's something that I'm exploring in terms of boot camps to put into mentally move. So
Amazing.
exercising boot camps, yeah,
Wow, that's really amazing. And also, I see that you also went into personal development. So
yeah.
tell us how or when did everything comes into play with you, because you went from social worker to personal trainer, and now we are going in fully with the personal development. So tell us a bit more about that.
So, if I start from the social worker part, the social worker was something that, because obviously, I like to help people. That is my nature. So, and I thought like social worker was it for me at the time. But when I went into the social worker and I did my placement, some of the things I didn't agree with, and it didn't align with my values, and I just thought this was not for me. Um, so when I did my second placement as mental health practitioner, then I fell in love with social work, mental health, and then from there I ended up in mental health. So that's where now exercise came into play. Then me doing my qualification, and so then I was like, it's time to learn more about myself. Like, who am I? Like, my identity. There's certain things, I always went through life thinking, I see people saying they found their purpose, they found their passion, and once you find that passion, you will never have to work another day in your life and all that. And I was like, does that even really exist? And I was just like, I've not found it yet. I knew I hadn't found it because I hadn't experienced that. So I went to a 2 day for life coaching, just like a taster day. And I sat there and I was like, oh my days, this is for me. So I immediately signed up to do my life coaching diploma, and also with that I've got a corporate as well. I've got doing a corporate diploma as well, corporate executive. diploma as well. So I combined those two. So I also studied NLP as well, neuro linguistic programming. So yeah, so through that, that was life changing for me. I knew I found my purpose. I knew I found my passion, as in there was no second guessing.
Amazing. I love that. So for you, since you've been doing this and you also put it down as you're actually helping with anxieties and confidence. Tell us a bit more of, because you went through mental health yourself, how do you put that in awareness for other people and helping them?
So I think for me, it was, I've always wanted to do something for myself. I've always been quite business driven, and I always knew in my heart that the one thing that I knew for sure was I didn't want to work for anyone. But I suffered with anxiety for like the longest time, and I think I still do from time to time. But now I've learned to manage, and I know that through education is anxiety. Everyone gets anxiety, but it's how we react in the situation of when we get anxious. Where a lot of people don't have that education, they tend to get into situations where, and especially for entrepreneurs, it's about stepping out of your comfort zone, and that can cause a lot of anxiety. So some people might get to a place of, oh, this is actually too uncomfortable, and they back up. So what I do with that is I help them identify their mental blocks and whatever self-limiting beliefs that they may have, to help them also understand and educate them and work through to manage those anxieties. Because a lot of people end up not taking action in what they want to do because of fear. Therefore, this is where I come in and help them through that process of kind of transforming the way they think about anxiety and helping them to gain that confidence to actually pursue their vision.
Tell us a bit more of with, because what you are helping them, are you, what is happening in your life, in your journey? Does it kind of support you as well, or is it self, it kind of like does it go with it, with yourself and your journey and your, the way you help other people? How does it reflect in your life?
So for me, it's first of all, like, mentally move. That's the business name, and it came through like what I wanted to represent, and it's shifting. So mentally move, shift your mind to a better place. And so with my clients, it's being able to shift their mind and in the way they think of anxiety. And through that journey is also, I've still got my own self-development that I do every single day. And I reflect after every session with a client. And I believe learning is key. I've not, as much as I've done all these things, I am constantly learning. I'm constantly taking in information. Anything that I can just find, to just, my mind is always just ready to just absorb information and understand. And it also makes me like a better coach for my client, and also makes me find ways to kind of different ways I can help them. And no two clients are ever the same. It's another thing. So what I do with one person, I won't do it with another person. So yeah.
Very true. Yeah, that's amazing. That's really true. And so I would like to know more about, because you said in your vision is to impact the world. Yes. So tell me more about this vision. Where are you going to start? Or is it already started?
It's already started. Sorry. Sorry, I've had a
It's
cold
okay.
or something. It's already started. It's something that, my vision has been to support people on a global level, to help people, get out of that mentality of being trapped and, being crippled by fear that they can't even make their dreams come true, and then they stagnate and they're then buried with their dreams. And I think that happens especially in the African society, where women just, their identity is just, they stop at being mothers and wives and don't really pursue what it is that they're supposed to be pursuing, or what it is that, we were all purposed here for something. And for me, it's to be able to bring out the best in people and make them realize that, it is possible. So I want it to be, in the long run, is to be able to obviously go back to Africa and, educate African women about ways that they can pursue their passion and be able to generate income from that, but also to also be recognized at a global level, and to gain the support of people on the same with the same vision, so that we can together be able to kind of help people around the world.
Amazing. Wow. I love that, because at the same time, what you're saying is actually something that I believe in so much, and especially women in Africa. Women are so much like, or they take care of the family, they take care of the children, they take care of everyone else, that they forget about themselves. And
Yes.
sometimes what you're saying is that also is that fear that's holding them down, but also is confidence. Sometimes they just don't know how to use their voice. Wouldn't you say that? Would you agree with that?
Yeah. Yeah, I think to use their voice, and to also, in terms of how they can, because confidence is quite broad. When a client comes to me and says to me, I want to be confident, I'll always ask them, what do you want to be confident in? Or when will you know that you are confident? Because it's quite broad. And another thing is, confidence comes and goes. Nobody's confident 100% of the time. And I think that's where, when people think that it's how your mindset, how you train your mindset to be able to think in a situation, and it's in all of us to lack confidence in something. But it's how we train our mind to then say, I don't feel quite confident in this area, but I will gather the knowledge, or I will gather the skill to be able to be confident in this situation.
Exactly, and that is so true, because confidence in it is broad way of thinking, but there is an aspect, there is the areas of everyone that they're different from each other, and that's is so true about it. Now, tell us a bit of we talked about your book. You've written a book, and the book is Anxiously Bold. Tell us about this book. I want to know more.
Well, so this is the book. Don't know if you can see it.
Amazing.
So it's part reading and part doing the work. So it was in the form of, I did it in the form of coaching. So I did it in the form of where I give information, but I also want the client or whoever buys the book to do the work, because it is, like it says, it's a 30-day guided journal. So in the book, I start by talking about, what is going to get you from point A to B. And that takes, certain things like commitment, understanding your vision. So I specifically chose to focus on the vision, because if you don't understand your why first, you won't be able to know where you're trying to go. So a lot of people usually want to start by just moving in different directions without having set, roots of what it is they want to do and what they're trying to go to. So this is like a journey where it's like I coach them through the book.
Hey, well, that's amazing. Wow. Tell us,
Mm.
so in this journey, is it someone who would come, and how would you help them with the book?
In this journey, in terms of helping them, it's about there's questions in there. There's some, thought-provoking questions. That's from a client who said that to me. They're very thought-provoking and challenging. So it's got questions that challenge the person who's reading it. And, they have to write, they have to reflect, and they're also making a commitment to themselves. So in terms of like following through, so there's ways to, because a lot of people, another thing, goal setting, a lot of people find it hard to do goal setting towards their vision or anything. So this kind of it there's it prompts them how to do goal setting, and just the questions. And I've done some writings in there to kind of guide them and to kind of just offer advice and offer suggestions, and also just things to look out for. So tips, there's tips as well, like things to look out for, when you're going towards your vision. And I think the one thing at the end, actually, I stop at the end, and at the end I wrote about, but what if? So that's actually the title. It says that.
But
So,
what
but
if?
what? Yeah, because what happens is we always get, I want to do this, but what if? I want to do, but what if? Oh, but what if people laugh at me? So I tell them, that little voice that about what if, to be aware of that, there's that, but what if I fail?
Hmm,
So I ask them, but what if you succeed?
amazing. I love that.
So, it's just getting them to think about, and also at the end, I also talk about how important it is to be authentic, to be your authentic self, and not to, we tend to look at what other people are doing and try and imitate that and wonder why we're failing. So I think being authentic in what it is that you're trying to do will get you the farthest.
Amazing. And that is so true. Because authenticity is the key to anyone,
Mm.
especially if the person wants to be a leader and wants to create something greater than themselves to this world. Also wanted to ask was that this book, anyone can use it, or is it specialized for for type of people?
No, anyone can use it. It doesn't need to be like, your vision could be anything. Some people's vision could be lose weight. Some people's vision could be have healthier relationships. So whatever it is, you use it as you would in that situation.
I see.
So yeah.
And where would people find this book?
It's available on Amazon. So it's on any country where there's an Amazon distribution.
Okay, that's amazing. And
Mm.
I'm going to also leave a link of the book on how to get to on this page anyway, so anyone can just go into it. And I also wanted to ask about, so if you, because we've talked abroad of things, now I would
Yeah,
love to take you in a way that, did you grow up in Kenya, yes? Or when
yeah.
did you come to this country?
I was 12 years old, but I've been quite present in Kenya. I go back quite a lot.
Where in Kenya were you from?
Nairobi.
Oh, amazing. I haven't been in Nairobi, okay? Terrible. I know. I was born in Kenya too, and I was born in Kenya in Mombasa. So that's the thing. But what I wanted to ask you is that because of your vision and because of your background and everything, what is the one thing would you like to share to the world? If you have a message to the world, what is that one thing you would like to share?
It would be, um, you know, this life that we're in right now is not a rehearsal. You have one shot at this life thing, and you can't spend your time thinking about what people will say or thinking about what if it fails when you haven't even tried it yet. And the more, even the fear of rejection as well. So you can't think about all those things. so for me, I had to kind of had that conversation with myself. At the end of my life, what do I want? What do I want people to say about me? What do I want to have given? What value would I have added to the world? So, I mean, all I can say is if you're out there and you're feeling like you can't, you really want to do something and you're just scared and you don't know how to go about it, all I can say is just start, and everything else will fall into place. It's not up to, it's not for you to know how it will get done. It's up to you to get it started.
Wow. That's an amazing message and very important for everybody to hear it. And thank you so much. Thank you. And I'm so, so happy. I just want to also ask the last thing. How do we get in touch with you?
Well, I'm on Facebook, Mentally Move. So Facebook, Instagram, it's all Mentally Move. I didn't want to complicate things. And you can also find me on www.mentallymove.com.
Amazing. It's all mentally moved. Nothing. Don't even waste any other words. That's it. Just get to her. That's the only way. And I just want to say thank you. Really, I am so happy and I'm so grateful. And thank you so much, Eve, for coming and sharing your story with all of us here today. And
Yeah.
I can't wait for the next one that we're going to do. So thank you so much.
We can't wait for that. Make sure you join us in our group as well.
Tell us about your group, quick one before we go.
So which one? I'm a busy woman.
Wow. Okay. How many groups do you have?
So I've got two.
Okay.
So I've got the first one. It's for BAME aspiring coaches and mentors. So that's myself and you.
Okay.
Um, who we're doing like basically having the same vision and just like what we spoke about, wanting to kind of educate women in Africa and about about coaching and mentoring, because it's something that I believe needs to be recognized, especially in Africa. And the second one is actually anxiously bold visionaries. That's the group name. So there it's more people who are um, aspiring and visionary. It's more entrepreneurs or people who are aspiring to be entrepreneurs in any field. So kind of just helping them to learn ways where they can start their own businesses, and getting different people with different expertise who share their expertise and how they overcame certain things, and also a place to network with different people who, in business you can always see someone is doing some information on something. So yeah.
And all these groups are in Facebook, yes?
Yeah.
Okay. And is there anything you want to share with us before we close for today?
No, I think we've got one on the 7th.
Yes.
Actually, I forgot about that. Yeah,
Yeah.
so we'll be live on the 7th of August, and so I'm sure, Bahu, you're gonna put something up to
Yes,
let
I'm
them
going
know.
to put the link. Yes, and it's going to be online, so I'll put it on all the platform for people to find and to find the group and where to go
Okay.
to get inside the conversation. And I just want to say thank you so much, and I can't wait, like I said, to come back and do this again to see and hear. Do you have a what is the next step for you at the moment?
The next step right now is just really I'm working with people one to one, and also I'm starting now group programs. But I think also I need to kind of rest. So that is the one thing I forgot to mention. As much as we want to succeed and we want to be successful, and help everyone else. You can't help from an empty cup. So I am gonna be taking some rest next month for a few days, and then because I'm spending my time always filling other people's cup, so I need to refill that cup.
Exactly. And this is the most important thing, especially as a leader, as a coach, and as a person who helps other people. So you're kind of like taking your energy and you're giving it away, or you're using your energy, and other people bring their energy. So you need to actually look after yourself and do something for yourself. Do you have like one
Yep.
tip would you share for the audience, whoever's listening, that one thing that you do either as a routine or as a something that you love doing as a self-care? Do you have like something that you always do it?
I mean, definitely exercising, fasting in the morning, that I do. But also, I'm very like boundaries in terms of creating boundaries around my work schedule and having a calendar so that, because a lot of people I've noticed don't have calendars. If you don't know what you're doing for the month, you don't know where you're going. So you need to know like what you're doing on each single day. So that helps you kind of it helps you stay grounded, and it also you're not stressed because when things show up, you're able to manage it accordingly. So it's good to have that, where you're able to view your month, and it helps you prepare for what is coming up. So that way you minimize your stress.
Exactly, and that's the most important thing. Thank you so much. Thank you, and I'm glad to be here. Thank you. Have a lovely afternoon.
All right, thank you for having me.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye.